Hi guys, Erin from VixenDaily, and today I'm going to talk about signs a guy's flirting with you. So, you want to know if a guy is actually interested in you and whether he's flirting or whether he's just being nice. You're probably confused about what his behavior means and you just want an answer once and for all because you don't want to risk embarrassment and rejection and the awkwardness of thinking he's flirting because you're attracted to him or at least open to him and want to flirt back, but you don't want to have some kind of awkward interaction where you essentially misread him and then end up feeling rejected. So, I'm going to give you some general signs, but after that, I'm going to actually explain how to really look at this in a way that will drastically change how you view not only the signs he's flirting, but the idea of what flirting is, and that'll actually clarify everything. First, let me just give you some of the most important signs because a lot of the signs out there are not really important and they only confuse you more. So, the first major sign, if he is flirting, he is going to signal that you are attractive in some way. So most men, whether subtly or obviously, will either imply or straight out say that you are attractive if they're flirting. Obviously, flirting with someone means that you think that they are somewhat attractive, and if he has made no indication at all about that, then he might not be flirting. The other big sign, he cares if you are single or not. Now, I'm not saying that he's a jealous psycho because flirting doesn't mean that he's fully invested or anything, but he is at least curious about your relationship status. Maybe he's asked it subtly. Maybe he's made jokes about it. Maybe he's tried to bring it up. Maybe he's flat out asked you. Maybe you are dating someone and he has made comments about it. But if he's not curious at all, or if he makes zero comments, he probably isn't that interested because he would want to see if you're on the market and if you're available to flirt. So, let's say that you are confused and you want to know if he's flirting, how do you flirt back? So first, examine these signs that I just mentioned. Do you think he's flirting with you based off these signs? If you're not sure, ask yourself what your gut instinct tells you. In your gut, do you think he's flirting with you, or is it that you want him to be flirting with you and you're looking for a sign or an indication that will affirm this reality that you want? So you are confused right now. I have some good news for you. In reality, when someone is flirting with you, it's supposed to be ambiguous as to whether it's just them being nice or that they're attracted and want you to flirt back. Remember this. Being confused is normal. It's supposed to be ambiguous when someone is flirting with you. That is one of the most important things about flirting. It's supposed to be ambiguous. It is not supposed to be clear. That's part of the fun. It's the not knowing. It's the give and take back. It's the dance that you'll kind of have. So what is flirting? A lot of articles and videos talk about flirting but don't really define what it is. Flirting is an open invitation, not a declaration. When people are flirting, they're essentially leaving an opening for the other person to step through. If the other person does step through, then they leave another opening. It's a dance. It's something that you do, but it's a step type of thing. It's not an outright declaration, as I mentioned. If the other person steps through, they leave another opening and another opening and another opening and so on and so forth. And then things progress. But if they don't step through, then it's easy enough for both people to save face and just say the other person was being nice. So that's why there are all these conversations about, is he flirting or is he just being nice? Well, guess what? The whole premise that he was just being nice or that you were just being nice, think of it in the reverse. The just being nice defense is basically our way to save face against rejection if we misread someone's flirtatious cues. So that is very normal. That is to be expected when it comes to flirting. Let's say a guy is flirting with you and thought that you were flirting with him, but you had no actual intention of flirting with him and you were actually just being nice. So he misread the situation, but when you did not give cues back to indicate that you were flirting, he basically said, okay, just being nice. I was just being nice. We were just having a friendly banter. Even if in his own mind he was flirting, he's not going to say that or admit that. No one wants to admit being rejected. The whole just being nice is basically a defense mechanism for both people to protect themselves and to safely engage in this process. People think flirting is to attract the other person, but good flirting is actually a way to see if the other person is attracted. Do you see the difference? I want to say that again so you really understand the distinction, because that is going to make or break your interactions, and your experience of flirting will be drastically better when you understand this. People think flirting is to attract the other person, but good flirting is actually a way to see if the other person is attracted. So the reason why just looking at one sign of if he's flirting or not isn't enough is because flirting is a process that takes place gradually over steps, where both people are offering each other doorways to walk through. And if the other one steps through, then and only then do they offer another doorway to step through and get a bit more direct. There's back and forth, and you can't really get a sense of where the other person is at until it's obvious that both of you have been flirting with each other, because both of you offered so many doorways and stepped through each other's doorways. There's a big distinction here. If a guy wants to flirt with a girl, for example, but he can't tell if she's into it or not, he might throw something out there just to see how she reacts, just to gauge. Does she react to it in a way that subtly encourages it, or seems to want more of it, or seems to go out of her way to compliment him? Then guess what? He'll have the sense to test the waters gradually a little bit more. And then it'll get clearer and clearer. I want to also explain something that's very important to understand. Guys are as afraid of being rejected and getting the wrong idea as you are. No one wants to assume someone's flirting and be wrong about it. But if you look at flirting like a process, like the guy says something or does something ambiguous, then the girl replies and says or does something that's either approving but still ambiguous, then he does another more obvious thing to maybe take it further, and so on and so forth. Then you see how it's a process that kind of plays out. The ambiguity lets you save face and is a normal part of flirting. Always remember that. And then there will be a tipping point. It'll cross a line where it's obvious to both people that neither one of them would have taken it this far unless they were both at least a bit into it. So there's a mutual understanding. There's a mutual assurance, if you will, that things have gone past the point of no return where it is obvious that there is a flirtatious banter going on. Does that make sense? There's a huge difference. It is a process. It is a dance. It is a dynamic. And without the back and forth of flirting, it's kind of pointless to ask if he's flirting, because the best you'll be able to say is honestly, maybe. Whereas if you understand that you can respond in a way that's equally ambiguous and therefore can't be rejected, since you could equally be considered just being nice and playful. Remember, you can always say, I was just being nice. That's the defense. You can easily flirt back and keep taking it just a little bit further. Not go from 0 to 60. No, just take it a little bit further. And sooner or later, you'll find out the truth, and there's no risk of rejection on either side, because you can both just say you were being just nice and playing around if there's any kind of mistake or awkward moment. That's really the key here. That is what will make your interactions so much better. So, I just want to summarize the most important things that I've mentioned and recap, because I think this will actually change your entire flirtatious experience with men and make flirting fun, not nerve-wracking. So really remember this. Flirting is an open door for you to flirt back, not a direct statement that they're interested in you. Flirting is supposed to be unclear, whether it's flirting or just being nice. So if you're unclear, that's because you're supposed to be. It is supposed to be. How do you flirt back without risking rejection? You respond with approval, encouragement, or a doorway of your own that could still be interpreted as just being nice and playful. So you always have an out that you weren't flirting, and therefore it's never really a rejection. So flirting is supposed to be unclear but inviting. Your responses to flirting are supposed to be unclear but inviting too. What signals that you're both interested and attracted to each other is that you both keep going with it. You both continue to engage. And remember, there will be a tipping point where things just go a little too far and it's like, okay, clearly not just nice. This has reached a level where it is flirting. If it never reaches that level, either you are too afraid of being rejected and you are not giving back the cue, or he is not giving back the cue. You or him, one of you is not advancing things further. So always look at it this way and it'll be a game changer for you. And I really do hope that this helps open your eyes to why you feel this way about flirting. So finally, like I say in all my videos, I really want you to have the kind of love life that you want. And I put a link to the full article on this topic in the description. And you can check out VixenDaily.com to get real world answers to just about any love advice question you have, so you're never confused by men or relationships again. And if you like this video, please leave a thumbs up. It really helps me out. And for more videos like this, subscribe to our channel on YouTube. Okay, bye.